So, a number of US states have filed a federal lawsuit against Meta, right? So, Meta is the company that owns Facebook, Instagram, Threads. I feel there's someone else. I feel there's something else they own. WhatsApp, WhatsApp, and some other things, right? So yeah, they filed a lawsuit claiming that the company has misled the public about the risks of social media and mental health with young people. Right? So that's the big thing, you know, saying it's caused substantial damage, you know. They've been collecting data against for children, and it's a big problem. You know, a New York Attorney General said social media companies, including Meta, had contributed to a national youth mental health crisis, and they must be held accountable. Right? Which, man, I do find a problem. I think it's a problem, you know? Now, social media is definitely not good, right? It's not good, but it could be better. It's not like social media is necessarily the issue. It's people that are the issue. Because when you think about when, Facebook and all of these things were first launched, we didn't get the same issues that we get now, right? But it's looking for profits. It's, all the things that have happened. So, filters, right? Throwing on filters, there's all of these different things are contributing to a weird kind of environment. But it's not the only thing. Like, to say it's the only thing, that's just insane. That's insane. Right? We've had the whole COVID bullshit. Problem, huge problem. Everyone locked in their houses, right? If you're saying that that's not going to affect mental health, I think you're bonkers. When you consider, in part of interrogation, they lock people in solitary confinement, right? If you're bad in prison, you get locked in solitary confinement. And for a lot of people, that's what it was. They didn't have families, they weren't living with friends, they were on their J's. You know what I mean? So that's an issue. We know it's an issue. The other thing is, right, just the financial crisis, right? People, having all of these issues, having to resort to food banks, just like the threat of being homeless, just all of these things play on people's minds. Then you've just got the general shit like school, university, college, right? Trying to find work. Just there's so many different things that are pulling at us, which can cause mental health issues. So it's not just social media. Right now, social media, and I've said it so many times, right? There's certain things that could be done to improve it. Like, take away this bullshit where you can, have a profile and say, oh, my name's Big Wig 94, right? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? You should have to use your name. You should have to use your name, you know? Also, right? How many times are you getting spammed? Because I know every time I throw up something for the podcast, it's like promote it on blah 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 from ZZZ21333333, right? And you have all of these accounts like hitting you with all this bullshit spam, and you look, they've got nothing on their profile, right? All of these things use the same fucking profile image. So you could do that, right? And there must be algorithms that show profiles that use the same image. So put a hold on those profiles. Firstly, right? You can't comment if you have no posts, right? Because that's a big one. People no posts, or maybe they've got 2 or 3 bullshit posts, but they are allowed to comment. Oh, be an ambassador for this bullshit glasses company. You know, that's what you get posted, you hit up all the time by things like that. Ban that, right? Ban that, you know? So yeah, if we had to post by our real name, so many things would change. So many things. Like it stops bullshit comments. Right. I was having a conversation today actually. It will be going out after this, but I was talking to this director, Paul Singh, and it's like, oh fuck. Mine just went blank. Mine just went fucking blank. Ugh. Right. No. People say things when they're behind a keyboard that they would never say in real life, right? And that's what anonymity and being anonymous does, right? It emboldens cowards to talk reckless. Because you never have someone come up to you in real life and be like, you suck, right? You should die. Yeah, people don't say that in real life, but when they're behind a gate, they'll talk all sorts of crazy. So if you make everyone post with their real name, changes everything. It changes everything. But here's the big thing. Here is the big thing, and the issue I have, right, when we have these states and counties and all of these types trying to sue social media, because basically they are washing their hands of any responsibility, right? Because a way of quashing all of this shit, better education, right? Better education, people. I've said it so many times, right? We need social scaffolding classes, right? You think all the things that get taught at school, right? Home economics. Well, all right, I'm gonna say from when I was at this, I have no clue really what the lessons are now. But we had home economics, which was kind of bullshit, right? There was 2 different arts, right? There was just, PE. Now there's all of these, RE, religious education, which, look, it can be interesting, but not to everyone. Not to everyone. So why don't we cut back on certain things and just trim lessons by a little bit? So every day there's this social scaffolding class, right? Because it needs to be every day, because that's the only thing that will have a behavioral change to it. It can't be once a week, because that doesn't embed itself properly. And this is the most important thing for people leaving school. It's communication, right? How do we communicate with each other? How do we do it? You know, like people complain about like the wolf whistling and the comments to women walking the street. Social scaffolding fixes that, right? Because it's like, how would you feel if you were in this situation, right? If you know, you were out for a drink and an NFL linebacker came up to you and was just like and started squeezing your ass, how would you feel? You know, and a dude would be like, I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's cool, right? And be like, what if he tried to grab your dick? And you'd be like, nah, I'm not having that, right? And I'm talking on like a heterosexual male, right? And I mean, even a gay male doesn't mean that you want someone doing that shit to you. You know what I mean? So it's just like, how would you feel if that was done to you? Or if you said, no, I'm all right, but they kept on trying to kiss you, kept on trying, they'd be like, no, that's not right. And then so then you go, so why do you think that's acceptable to do to a woman? And someone be like, fuck. Yeah, I hadn't looked at it like that. Yeah, that's not right. Or if your little sister, say you've got a little sister, Timmy, you've got a sister. What would you feel like if she came running home crying and you're like, what happened? And then you heard that people were shouting out to her, nice tits, darling. Oh, let me see up your skirt. You'd be like, I'd be infuriated and be like, how many times have you said that out, Timmy? You'd be like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that. Right? Just make people look at situations a different way. You know what I mean? And then you go, hey, when you are online, right? How many times have you commented on someone's profile and said you should die or you suck or, you know, your film is bullshit or just anything? And be like, yeah, I've done that. And be like, why? Oh, I thought it was funny. And, you know, they're never going to find out it's me because my profile is, you know, ding dong 73. And you're like, well, do you think that's acceptable behavior? Would you like if that's done to you? No, I would not like. And you just make people look at these situations, right? You this is the thing. You don't do this in secondary school. We start it at the motherfucking beginning, entrench it. But obviously, you do it in a different way, right? So when you've got little fucking 6-year-olds all sitting around, you'd be like, everyone's friends, right? Yeah, yeah, we're all friends. And you're like, would you punch your friend in the face? Be like, no, that's wrong. Exactly. So would you say a mean thing to your friend? No, exactly. Right? And you just create a culture where people are better to each other and they understand the repercussions of all this other bullshit, right? Teaching someone that just because it looks like someone is mad happy, has all the stuff because they post it on their thing, does not mean that's their reality, right? A lot of time, how many times have you seen people have photos by cars, right? It's not even their fucking car. Right? I've seen people ask to sit behind the wheel of someone else's car so they can take a picture. Right? You've got companies that rent out, like they've not a, it's not even a plane. They've got like the kind of interior of a plane. So you go on to act like you're flossing. Right? So it's teaching people that just because you're seeing something, right? The optics of something does not mean that's a reality. And be happy with your situation, be happy with what you've got, right? If we teach that, trust me, people, we won't have the extent of a mental health problem that we do, right? And that's the problem with these lawsuits, because these states are taking the responsibility they have and passing that buck. Right, just going, these platforms are to blame. And don't get me wrong, the platforms can do plenty of things to improve, right? As I said, look, they can do all of these things and it would improve those platforms and the situations, right? Just take away the fucking filter bullshit, firstly. Why? Why is it even needed? It's dumb. Or do it where at the bottom of the screen there's a tag or something that shows that's on. Right? I saw this post the other day. I believe it's Little Duval, right? He had this video of a woman, right, sitting there in a bikini and pulling all of these like supposedly sexy faces, but she hadn't put the filter on, right? So, she's got a lot of zits and everything like that. Puts this filter on, it smooths everything out. Now, clearly, I feel you can clearly see, I always feel you can clearly see there's a filter on, but it was just insane that suddenly the filter's on and it's just like, yo, you know what I mean? So take away these filters. They're bullshit. They're stupid, but yes, the companies can do stuff, but so can the states, right? So can the countries. Better education, right? Better education. So do that. But instead of filing these lawsuits, wasting so much fucking time, all right? Create a fucking, you know what I mean? A committee, right? All the different, states, counties, wherever you are, whatever you call it, right? Whatever it is in your country, you get together and you go, hey, these are the things we want to see in a universal education system deal with mental health, right? That's what should be happening. That's what should be happening. I've said it before and I'm saying it now, right? It has to start there. It has to start there.